Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Fae is a area control board game about these fairies or fays, and they're trying to, it has no theme. It's an abstract game. In fact, it's based on an older game called Clans. And Clans was kind of a classic there for a while, and it completely dropped off the cliff of consciousness or board gamers, I suppose. But it was a game people talked about for a long time. Let's talk about Fae. Fae attempts to upgrade the components, upgrade the art in the game in order to make it more accessible. It's kind of a mixed bag, I think. I think that the artwork is better, but it isn't as user-friendly. I think it's very difficult to kind of use and utilize as you're going through, and sometimes just kind of like, okay, what is this referring to? And I think it might hold it back just a tad. Now, it's not so bad you can't not play the game, etc. I'm not even beginning to say that. It's user-friendly. Just felt like it could have been a little bit more clear. This is going to be a basic introductory area control game. It's very abstract. You can move the pieces in certain ways, and that's it. How you score points and how you can utilize the cards and score those points is going to be the game. It's very simple, very easy to teach. It's a much easier game than, say, something like chess, where every piece is doing something different. Very simple. It can be controlling the areas and scoring points. Boom, boom. That is done. Now, this simplicity is going to be attractive to some, especially newer gamers or people new to the genre, or if you're just wanting something a little bit, I don't want to say lighter because the decisions are there and it can be pretty cutthroat, but basically lighter in the rule set and the decisions that you're making in the game. Now, it can lead to some AP as there's a lot going on, there's a lot of pieces, but as the game gets further into it, those decisions become rarer and rarer because there's less pieces on the board. So at the beginning of all these decisions, but they're not, I guess they don't count as much, I guess you could say. They aren't worth as much. There's so many to make. But as it condenses down, there's fewer decisions, they become more valuable. They become harder to make. So that can lead into some analysis paralysis. The game works. I think it's a fine game. It might be one that might be best left in the past to me. It's a little too introductory, a little too simple for me. The theme doesn't do anything for me. The look of the game doesn't do anything for me. It just becomes an exercise in abstractness, which is not something that I generally enjoy. So this is one of those games where I'm going to say most people are going to disagree with me. There is a lot here. It's a very good, solid game. But when it doesn't work for us, it'll be a purge. Here's Fae. You can see, I guess it's some kind of fairy, something coming on here. It's kind of a cool cover, but I don't know. It doesn't make me want to play the game, to be honest. As you open it up, you can see there's really no insert, although probably isn't really needed one. Here is the board. You know, the board's okay. It's not really that good, I'll be honest. So you have the scoring, but look, it's like these weird designs as you go through. And it's kind of, I don't know, makes me go cross-eyed a little bit. The areas on the board, they also make me go cross-eyed a little bit. They kind of bleed in the other ones. And I was like setting this up. I was like, what exactly is going on here? So you're going to have some cards that you'll be using throughout the game. But once again, these scoring cards, because these don't have any color to it, people find it very hard to look at and very hard to discern what areas of the board. These will be the identities. They do have, I guess, different pictures, but the pictures don't coordinate to anything. So really it's just the colors. I'm going to be honest with you. And then you're going to have a bunch of these. They look like little gumdrops or like candy drops that melt in your mouth. This will be your little scoring tile. It has like a plasticky feel to it, these little circular things. And then these little fairy guys in different colors will be on the board. I don't know much about color blindness, but there's no way to differentiate these except for color. The rule book is going to have a picture of the components, which is appreciated. It's not a very long rule book, just open and shut. Some key concepts and hidden identities you're going to do in the game. The setup will be over here. It has pictures, but it doesn't show the board or whatever, so playing the game, and I'll have a breakdown of some of the stuff. Some examples that are utilized through the pictures. There's italicized stuff here, I suppose. And then how to score the game, end of game. And this is a fairly easy game. Probably going to read this in 5-7 minutes. You'll be up and playing in no time. So at the start of the game, everybody's going to get a secret identity. This means this is the color that you're going to be scoring during the game. And whichever one you get, so if I got this one randomly, I'm blue, but nobody will know that I'm blue. Back to that in a few minutes. Then you're going to take these cards and you're going to stack them up by the number here. So you're going to have the 1s, the 2s, the 5s, the 4s, the 3s, and you're going to kind of have them set up here. they're not all the same, but you can shuffle them up and you can have different things. And basically what the card's going to tell you, let me use a different one because it'll make a little bit more sense. Let me use the 3. This will tell you this one, if you're able to win this area, or every fairy that's in that area or fae will get 3 points. If you're in this area, it's going to come off the board, so it's not going to score. And then, so you can see here, like the 4s, it's all the same that you're going to have there. You can look at the 1s. They kind of change up a little bit here of what's going to score. So you can see the progression of what's going to score, how many points. And then the last row, everything is going to score the 5 points. I'm not going to take the time to fill up the whole board, but what's going to happen is each area that you're going to have one of each color to start the game out, and that's just kind of randomly set the best you can. On your turn, you can take all the druids in one area and move into another, unless there's 7. If there's 7, you can't move it. So on somebody else's turn, they might move all of these in here, and the 7, maybe in the turn this guy moves this guy in, and this guy will move this guy here. So since this guy has nobody here in order that could possibly ever move in there for the game, he is ready to score. And because he's in this one, he'll get 1 point for scoring there. So you would just move up the orange one up 1 on the scoring track. Now, nobody knows who orange is at this point, but it would go up. Now, this is a disruption because it is this area right here, so you have to account for that. Since they're on the negative one, all of these would come off and they would not score. Let's pretend for a moment that they were here in this green area. So what's going to happen is, if they were here instead, if they were here because it matches the bottom, it's a disruption, they would all come off and not score. Then you would look at this and you would say, are all 5 colors here? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, all 5 colors are here. So 1 of each would come off and these would not score. So purple would be the only one to score. It doesn't match here, so you're going to get 1 point. Let's go back and say this had been later in the game and you were scoring this card instead. Because it does match that, you're going to get 3 points instead of 1. So disruptions, there's 2 ways to get the disruption. If it matches the bottom, or if 1 of each color is there. If it matches the bottom, they all come off. If it's 1 of each color, then 1 of each color would come off of the spot. Otherwise, you do that until you cannot move anywhere on the board or all the cards have been scored. At the end of the game, everybody will reveal what color they are. And whichever tracker has the most points will be the winner of the game. Who should buy this game? First of all, looking for an introductory area control game, boom, boom, here, you're done. If you happen to like this theme, you happen to like the look of the game, I think that this will work for you. But this is squarely going to be in the introductory area control. That's something you might be interested in. You want to get people into other area control games. It's a great place to start. Good family weight game, lighter gamers. That'll be it. Didn't really hold our attention. It'll be a purge for us.